Greetings everyone, and Grid here for another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on the bottom right side as the Penny player, we've got EvilAnge. Spawn on top left side as the Forsythe player, we've got Mr. Cringe. Of course, Mr. Bear has been buffed up in the Tiny Wars variation, now provides plus 15% rather than plus 10% unit capability. Small little buff there. Additionally, the random weather lasts for 3 turns for whatever was beforehand, so small buffs there. Additionally, the CO zone starts at 3 and does expand out twice. Forsythe is still the same, providing a plus 20%, so his day-to-day is largely the same. All comes down to how well Penny can play her weather. His CO zone is still the max range 5, which Penny can match to a certain degree. 5 range is absolutely massive for the small capability. And nice thing about Forsythe as well, you don't really care if your CO unit goes down. You can put it in more of a cheaper unit, so it's probably better putting the CO unit to a cheaper, more mobile unit to buff up as many units as possible. Bikes, recons are possibilities for Forsythe, though tanks are not bad as well, because of course he's still a fully maxed out ranked unit, whatever unit he loads on in. So let's get started. This map does offer a good number of bases. We've got 2 bases already captured up for both players. Third base can be claimed. Does have a number of ruins nearby. Not the greatest path to get there. A lot of roads afterwards, so recons and bikes can easily project out leftwards and rightwards up here. Number of properties in the center. Bit more of a scattered amount of properties, and just gets to plains, wasteland, and ruins. So a lot of not great terrain to pass through. So units should be able to jump off and get into the fray pretty quickly and then die. Both players do also start off with Digital City and also a airport. So large number of properties captured immediately by both sides. No comm towers, no radio station. And let's go ahead and get started. Bike. I suppose bike opener would make sense on this map with a higher amount of income and of course all the roads. Infantry bike, ooh. Looks like Mr. Bear's one eye for a battle copter next turn. Infantry. Bike infantry, so no battle copter this turn. Infantry, both players soaring on up. Maybe Duster would be good first deploy. Either way, she has 7,500 income, not enough to deploy out stuff. Bikes are somewhat expensive. Triple bike there, so it looks like they're just eyeing for mass bikes, maybe both players. So maybe an early recon wouldn't be half bad. Battlecopters and dusters, something that provides some pressure. And now we've got the first unit on the field, a tank. You may just load up a seal unit into that tank, but maybe too early for that, honestly. Now Mr. Bear deployed out his own tank. CO's his tank. Thought we could have seen a battlecopter this turn. He has that 13,500, which should still leave enough for infantries and all the rest of the bases. Of course, this map is relatively small, so the CO zone will cover a pretty good amount of terrain. And looks like Mr. Bear, Penny is eyeing for a good number of bikes and the CO tank along the left flank. Up north, Forsythe does not have the same luxury. He's going to push forward in the center of the map with his tank to engage his opponent's bikes and infantry. Forsythe deploy a lot more infantry, so he cut back a little bit early. Another tank. I assume there's no prohibition on any certain units. Doesn't look like it. Mr. Bear scores the first kill of the 10 energy. 1/6 of the way towards some random weather. And this random weather could be very useful. Random weather provides reduced firepower, reduced move speed, or force of rain. All of them can be very useful for Penny. Gets a first strike with his tank there, and let's go and just make it down to me click on the turn rather than use the autoplay now. That first strike there is very important. Penny's assault has completely been blunted down south. Penny should probably pull back her CO unit to this property, this city there. But maybe after some follow-up engagement, interrupt some infantry captures? Guess not. I'm gonna try to flip this property. Penny is behind by 1 property. Now Penny does have 3 tanks this region. The 1 CO unit will be healed up to 7 next turn as well. Lots of good strikes there. Penny's disintegrated pretty quickly on this flank. Forsythe's not doing as well on the northern flank. It's a good number of infantry units, but there's a good number of bikes still in the region. Watch your eye for this property there. But now a tank's coming in up north. Good strikes there. More tanks being pushed on the bottom flank, but not being aggressive. Good attacks in the middle. Finish off some of those units there. And he does have a good grasp north, but the single tank will stop it. No battle coppers or anything of sort, and I don't see any sort of bans on any of these units, so... Forsythe is just taking both flanks very well. Forsythe has deployed up an anti-tank over here. Just need to push it forward. Plant on a property. It'd be very hard for Penny to displace that. Medium tank for Forsythe as well. And he's gone for artillery and tank. Tank setting up north. I think she needs to get a battle copter to engage up north. Couple bikes there. Forsythe is trying to flip some properties. He already has a slight advantage, and this advantage will greatly increase if he even flips 1 property. Also threatening 2 more properties here, and plus trying to flip 2 properties. Forsythe overall seems like in a really good position at the moment. Battle copter deployed by Forsythe as well. Interrupts that capture. Good strike there. A rocket? Okay, I don't think a rocket's going to be a great option at this moment in time. Maybe she really wants to deal with that anti-tank at range. I don't think the rocket's going to be super great. Though it depends also with the random weather. If she gets her superpower, she's getting pretty close to it. About 60% of the way there. Anti-tank pushed way forward. She's going to get zoned out by the anti-tank. The medium tank doesn't help out as well. More battle copters. Let's see how well a tank in her CO zone does versus that anti-tank. Not good. Infantry unit did well. She's going aggressive. She's engaged in multiple regions. CO zone unit could push forward a little bit farther. Keeping at max range. I think she should have moved that CO unit a little bit closer first because some of those gates were outside her zone. She needs the energy. Rocket push way forward. If he tries to go for the CO unit, the rocket will be in range. Tank, infantry has nothing to stop the battlecopters whatsoever. Needs a duster or anti-airs. Or battlecopters. Yeah, she's starting to disintegrate on the left flank. Up north, Penny does have a superior tank advantage and decent amount of infantry in the region. But this won't go super great in her direction, just okay. Down here, it's going horrible for her. All of her tanks are wounded, or most of them are. Artillery did stay out of range of everything else. Anti-air. I'll turn too late, I would say. He's going to strike there outside of her CO zone. He has another hit there on the anti-tank. She's up to 50 energy, falls back. She's going to play around her rocket. It all comes down to that random weather. This is the only thing that will give Penny an edge in this situation. Or if it's just slightly better without the her superpower. So when the random weather gets activated, whatever weather it is, she's got to have to make massive gains during the weather. Because it's the only thing she can edge on. Artillery piece got sacked, pretty much. Anti-air. Looks like the anti-air is just out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it should be in range. So the anti-air is in range of the battlecopter. This tank can't really push up north. All I'd best to move the CO unit out of the way, have the anti-air go on top of where the CO unit is, then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So probably can't reach on the ruins. But I'm not sure. Blue goes for his own rocket. Tank falls back entirely. Takes out that one. CO power is now available. And thing as well, depending what it is, it could be very useful and not useful. Snow is probably one of the worst things she can get right now. Reducing her opponent's movement range by 1 is not that important when her opponent can't exactly make use of all of their movement speed as well. Penny's also down by 5 properties, so she has to be aggressive. It all comes down to her superpower. Goes for an anti-air, skip once. Great strike there. Her northern flank is gone. Yeah, I think this rocket was not a good call. She was losing too much here to begin with as well. Anything could help her stabilize the region, which I think why she went for the rocket. But though she's not deployed a single aircraft this game, and she's had a late response to the battle copter as well. And Blue is just pumping out battle copters because there's not been a proper counter to them. Here comes a superpower. Not. It's one of those superpowers you don't really have to do a doom push for the superpower if you want that weather. Once you figure out what type of weather it is, the better likelihood you're able to make a formulated plan around it. But pushing the center is quite nice. It'll force Blue to spawn, or it can be aggressive, but if the superpower nearby, it's probably best idea not to be aggressive. Nice has recon, so Fog of War would decimate Blue. I think Rain is what probably what Gray wants. Because I'll basically put his opponent to blind, allowing her to advance forward and get some good strikes. Maybe with the rocket. That's probably the only way the rocket would be useful if their rain was summoned. Sandstorm wouldn't be half bad as well. 30% less firepower, that can be quite nice. Another medium. Because remember, it'll be rain for 3 turns. That'll give 3 turns to rocket if we have a lot of extra capability. CO power? Snow. I believe that's the worst one she could get at the moment. Reducing move speed is nice and all. Makes it so the direct fire units are less effective, but the indirects are still just as lethal as ever. So yeah, I think this is the point where she starts disintegrating. She's unable to push forward. She's down by 6,000 income, which is massive. And she's posing no threat to opponent property. In fact, this property is under threat now. She needs to deploy out a tank and pass battle copter push up north this direction. She's not deployed out a single aircraft unit. Yeah, I think the aircraft alone is one reason why Forsythe has so many extra units in the field. It will get another production queue going. And it's going to just wait out the storm. And thing as well, with his higher income, stalling is better for him. Stalling is fine for Forsythe at the moment. Infantry can be in range as long as he wants. They're not important at the moment. And he has a pretty good defensive line there. He has an anti-tank, artillery, and a rocket. Another rocket up there as well. I'm just going to put autoplay because right now I think Forsythe is just going to stall out the game. Gets a good strike there with the anti-tank, and that rocket just got knocked out. And there's a massive counterattack in the snow where he is weaker than his opponent. Sure, now a couple of his penny tanks are now in range, but there are medium tanks in the field. And battle copters. Yep, it's pretty much game over. Rocket's on top of property, got a little extra health going. Petting Cells have now 2 tanks up here versus opponent's 1, so she can start making some gains up here. But right now it's a 8,000 funding different. Forsythe has more than 33% increase income. Rocket gets picked off, everything in the center is going to be picked off. She has no counter to these medium tanks. Another medium tank up north. Now with the winter subsided, Blue has 2 rockets to provide massive backline firepower. Plus, with this battle copter up there, the northern flank won't be able to do much. Yeah, but everything in the center is just disintegrating. There goes the CO tank. Forsythe's original CO loaded tank is still in the field as well. Medium tank and infantry. We may probably see one of these tanks CO loaded, though honestly an anti-tank on top of the HQ would probably be best, but I don't even think that makes a difference at this moment in time. 3 tanks fell back, 3 health. Medium tank deployed by Penny. That will double base skip. CO unit still on the front line, providing excellent fire support. You can see this guy has plus 20% attack and defense. Always nice to have. Anti-air battlecopter and more infantry units. Lots of good first strikes there. No seal loaded unit. And tanks in range as well. That should do some good work against that medium tank. Yeah, but at this point in time, Penny should just resign. This game has been long over. Tanks fell back, I think, unnecessarily. Just push forward. extra mass there will help let base lock the bases. Well, honestly, being a little bit too passive when we've already won the game is not a big difference. And Penny has resigned. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.